Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final regular season game of this 2025 MIAA regular season. Due to the field conditions at Archbishop Curley following the rainstorms from last night continued into the day, Curley is now the home team here at Carlo Crispino Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caleb Stein. I'm going to be going solo today up in the booth with Ms. Kathy Baker as the moderator today. So, as I said on Wednesday multiple times, it is no longer the seniors' last home game of the regular season due to the rain, but I know none of them are complaining. The Calvert Hall Cardinals lineup, who are the away team today, Caden Barmer, Will Hack, and Braden Wolf, 1, 2, 3, Travis Pites, Thomas Pilarski, Clark Miletto, and then Drew Kittleberger, who's getting the rotation in left field today after Kreiner had the last game. Anthony Williams is still at first, and Connor Callahan doing the catching today, as Coach Kerr wants to give normal everyday catcher Braden Wolf a little bit of a break. The Curly Friars lineup goes as such. Ian Hull is the catcher, Jonas Ritter, third base, Lucas Dean in right field, same 1, 2, 3 as last time. Owen Shapiro, pitcher on Wednesday, now playing first base. Braden Rolland, the shortstop, Riker Marcel at second base, Cooper Cumberledge, center fielder, Khalil Jackson, left field. He made a couple of pinch running appearances on Wednesday and then eventually came in. And then Ryan Bonnet's DHing today. Caleb Chesgreen is pitching today on the mound, the left-hander for Curley, as well as his counterpart for today, Hunter Dunst, in a little bit of a bullpen game. And Chesgreen's first pitch to Barmer, who squared up for bunt early and then jumped out of the way as a fastball inside. Chesgreen working quickly here, and another fastball that's high, so he falls behind 2-0 on Caden Barmer. And there's another fastball that was just low. Coach Kerr today going with the bullpen day. Hunter Dunst going to go the first 2 innings, as Barmer draws a forced pitch walk, and the leadoff batter is on with great speed over on first. Hunter Dunst, the sophomore, and Grayson Ryan, another sophomore, 2 class of 27s. They're going to go the first 4 innings today, and a little bit of a bullpen day. Grayson can sometimes start on Friday, but last game of the regular season, Coach Kerr wants to try out some things as we look forward to next season as well. So now Will Hack is up against Chesgreen, and then there's just 5 straight fastballs that he can't quite locate for the strikes. And then Nate Rodriguez to follow, the senior. Another fastball inside. Chesgreen right now just working really, really fast. Might need to settle down a little bit if he wants to locate some of these pitches for strikes. And Hack sends a liner into left field, but is right at Khalil Jackson. Good swing there from Will Hack, and that's going to be the first out of the top of the first. So now the DH for today of the Cardinals, Braden Wolf. And Barmer's on the run. He got a good jump, but an even better throw from Ian Hull. So Ian Hull with the strong arm behind home plate. Guns out Barmer at second. So quickly it goes from no outs, a runner on first, to 2 outs, no runners on. Braden Wolf this year is batting .286. He does have a home run in the Loyola series. .455 on base percentage, which is a really good mark, especially for your catcher. You love to see Braden Wolf always at the top of the lineup as well. Chesgreen fires one in there. It's another fastball that Wolf just skies into right field. And this one's going to land foul. Right near the bocce courts. That ball was just carrying. Not a lot of wind today here at Carlo Crispino Stadium, but if there is any, it's going to be blowing from left field to right field as normal. 58 degrees here in Towson, Maryland. Feels like 50, though, with wind gusts up to 24 miles per hour throughout the rest of the evening. The 1-2 to Wolf. There's first breaking ball of the game. That one was high as well, so the count evens up at 2 apiece. And Wolf fouls another one back. When I say Braden Wolf has a 286 batting average, a little StatCast, extra stat, expected batting average, it would be much higher. He catches a lot of barrels, just pretty unfortunate placements as he rolls this one over to Braden Rollin, who's going to make the strong throw over to first. So Caleb Chesgreen works quickly through that top of the first. And the side is retired, 3 up, 3 down. 1 walk in the inning. And the Friars are going to come up to bat in the bottom of the first next. Ian Hull leading off the bottom of the first here. He's going to be facing Hunter Dunst, the sophomore. He's got just 2 pitches, fastball, slider, mix. We'll mix them up very well. And that fastball just has a lot of run on it, more like a 2-seamer. This fastball is the mid to low 80s. We'll top around 85 miles per hour. And then that slider is just great off speed, catches the batter super off guard. There's another fastball in there for a strike from Dunn, so he's quickly ahead 0-2 on Hull. Dunn set his fires, and Hull was just early on that slider, chops it foul up against the fence past the dugout. Hull defensively this series has been stellar for the Friars. He's throwing out a couple guys at second, made a good defensive save against Will Hack, and then he just chops one over right back to Dunst, who makes a quick throw over to Williams and gets the first out. So up next for the Friars is third baseman Jonas Ritter. Their everyday third baseman and pretty consistently in the 2-hole as well. The defense for the Cardinals. Ritter chops that fastball foul again. The defense, you have Drew Kittleberger, sophomore, in left field after Kreiner was in there on Wednesday. Caden Barmer and Will Hag, your staples in the outfield at center and right. And then on the infield, same as Wednesday, Pilarski and Williams at the corners, and then Trav and Clark up the middle as your double play combination. And Dunce falls behind Ritter 2-1. Could not locate the last two fastballs. Ritter chops this one foul as well. And then, of course, again, Connor Callahan behind the dish, giving Braden Wolf a little bit of a rest day before the playoffs start. Playoffs, the first game will be here at home. Cardinals will actually be the home team against Archbishop Spalding. And they're going to say Ritter held his swing. And then the Cardinals will travel Tuesday afternoon down to Severna Park to play Spalding there in the second game of the series. If the series needs to go to 3, as Ritter fouls off another one. If the series does need to go to 3 games, they will play on Thursday, I believe, and that game will be back here at Carlo Crispino Stadium before the championship series begins on Saturday, which will be at the highest seed stadium, so either us or John Carroll most likely. And Ritter smokes one through the 5-6 gap. He was all over that fastball, finally got it to time it up. There's a one-hit single for Curley, with Lucas Dean, the right fielder, up next now. Ritter fakes like he's going, but doesn't. Dean sends one into the gap, but Barmer giving good chase and is able to corral it for the second out. Barmer, who was shaded a little bit more towards right center, had a long run, but was able to get there with his good closing speed in the outfield. So Duns gets his second out on one swing. And now the first baseman, Owen Shapro, is up next for the Friars. Ritter still holding at first, and Shapro rolls one over to shortstop. Trav makes a long throw and makes it there on a hop. Good backhand play from Travis Pites over at shortstop, and a good pick from Anthony Williams. Dunn strands Ritter over at first. And after a very quick and efficient first inning for both pitchers, it's still tied 0-0 as the Cardinals come back up to bat in the top of the second. Chesky Green is ready to pitch again in the top of the second. The class of 27. Again, just like his counterpart, Hunter Dunst, only has two pitches, but instead of the two-seam and the slider, he's got the four-seam fastball and a curveball. The fastball is going to range from around 84 to 86 to 87 miles per hour. And the first batter he's going to see in the top of the second frame is going to be Travis Pites, the senior shortstop for the Cardinals. Trav, first period today, along with Will Hag, were gracious enough to come onto the Sports Code Sportscast podcast that we host. Had a bunch of fun talking about the season and who would win in the 100 men versus one gorilla fight. They had some interesting takes on that. And he goes ahead 2-1. And Trav rips one over Jonas Ritter. It's going to be a leadoff single for the Cardinals. Another good swing from Travis Bites. This time actually was able to pay off a little bit more for him. So leadoff batters on again for the Cardinals. And now they have Thomas Pilarski up. Won't be afraid to show bunt, but he won't there. He takes a fastball high. This time he takes a fastball. It looked similar, but this time called a strike from the home plate umpire. So the 1-1 from Chess Green. This time another fastball, this time dotted on the outside of the plate. This pitcher is working really, really fast. And Thomas Pilarski gets his 7th hit by pitch of the season. Pilarski is not afraid to get hit by the ball. Now this time Clark Mileto shows bunt. Cardinals with the runner on first and second. No outs here in the top of the second. Would be a good opportunity. And Travis is just going to take third, and he's going to make it easily. Great read from Travis Pites. He saw the third baseman Ritter was playing up, and Chess Green just did not even look at him once. By the time Hull was able to pick that out of the ground, Travis was already 10 feet from the bag. So the Cardinals in really good scoring position now. And Clark Mileto sends one right up the middle, and that's one going to get through into the outfield. So RBI single from Clark Mileto to score the first run of the evening. Tommy can only take second as that was hit so softly. So now the 7-hole batter, Drew Kittleberger, going to be batting from the right side. The switch hitting utility man of this Cardinals team. Will be interesting to see how Coach Curry uses him in the next couple years as well. Can play on the infield, can play anywhere in the outfield. And Chess Green is just firing these pitches in. Getting these signs quickly from Hull and just ready to go. But sometimes it is hurting him as he can't quite locate all these pitches. Just a class of 27, has a good arm still, but he's down 3-0 to Drew Kittleberger. And this one's going to get behind Hull. That was ball 4 anyway, so the batters are going to take the free bases. And now Anthony Williams, the power-hitting first baseman, is going to come up, bases loaded, no outs in this inning. Great opportunity again for the Cardinals. And Chess Green's fastball is just too outside. And this one's going to get away from Hull. But it took a huge bounce back towards him. Great read from Thomas Pilarski, and he was able to slide back safely. But you don't see a lot of those. Even with this huge brick backstop, have not seen a lot of those balls bounce directly back towards the catcher. The count's 2-0 on Williams. He's going to take a fastball for a strike. Williams is probably up there with the team lead in total barrels. And this one's going to hit him. So everyone's going to take a free, easy 90. Anthony's is not going to be as easy. He took a fastball off the knees from chest green. But Pilarsi's going to score, and the bases are still loaded now for the catcher, Connor Callahan. And there's going to be a little bit of a conference here on the mound. Connor Callahan and Caden Barmer sharing a laugh while warming up a little as the home plate umpire is here to break up the conference. Still great scoring opportunity for the Cardinals here. Callahan does have some pop in his bat. He's going to be the everyday catcher next year for this Cardinals squad. And he takes a fastball for a strike inside part of the plate. Good placement there from chest green after he just had those encouraging words from coach. This time it's a little too inside. That's really what this day is about, just trying to gauge what next year is going to look like a little bit. As Connor Callahan sends one into the right center gap, and this ball is going to get down. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Williams is on Kittleberger's, and all three runs are going to score. Connor Callahan is going to go for a triple, and he's going to get in safely. A 3-run triple for Connor Callahan. The helmet came off, and the Cardinals now lead 5-0. Callahan does the Heisman pose over at third base. It's one of the new celebrations for this Cardinals team. Christian Oliver is going to come on as the designated courtesy runner for the catchers. So great speed over at third. Caden Barmer's up again now. He takes that fastball for a strike. That was just a great piece of hitting from Connor Callahan. Hit it right in between the center fielder and the right fielder. Had no chance of getting to that ball. And Williams read that perfectly. He was trailing Kittleberger. And this one's getting sent into the outfield. Not very deep at all, though, as the shortstop Braden Rollins going to make the catch. So a little bit of unfortunate hitting. Just got a little too under that one. Oliver, even with his good speed over on third, has no chance of scoring. But now Will Hack is up. Hack with the hard liner right to Khalil Jackson, his first time up. Way early on that fastball. Hack this year has 39 total hits, 7 of which are for home runs and 7 doubles. 4 triples as well on the year. So 18 extra base hits out of his 39. And then 30 RBIs on the year as well for Hack. Hoping to drive in his 31st. And he takes that curveball inside for a ball. So the count goes to 3-1. He can be a little bit patient here, waiting for his pitch. And he just got under that fastball, and he knew it. Sent it right back into the netting. So it's a full count. Chest Green still going strong. And Hack sends this one into the outfield. 40th hit of the year, 31st RBI, and the Cardinals now lead this game 6-0. Good swing there from Will Hack to drive in an extra run. Still only one out in this inning with great speed over at first as well. Even with the lefty, I expect him to be moving. And Wolf sends this one into the parking lot. Didn't hear a big clang, so hopefully all cars were safe. Wolf sends this one off the hands in foul territory. Brandon Wolf today was representing his Catholic University of America swag on Senior College Shirt Day. He's down 0-2, and he was chasing that high fastball. He goes down on strikes. First strike out of the day for Caleb Chesgreen, and it could not have come in a better moment for him. Got the second out of this inning, but now it's Travis Bice who led off this inning with the single. Right over Jonas Ritter's head. And he takes that fastball high for a strike. Will Hag still over on first base. And there he goes. Now he's going. Good jump there. And he's in there safely. Another good throw from Ian Hull, but the speed of Hag, and he got such a good jump there. No chance. So another runner in scoring position for the Cardinals. And that fastball just gets away from Chesgreen. Hull makes a good extension to get the catch. But the count's 3-0. And Travis reaches for the second time this inning. It's not every day that you hear a batter's secondary walk-up song in the same inning. That's the chance here with the Cardinals, who have batted around now, scoring 6 runs in this inning off the big 3-run triple from Connor Callahan. And it's a double steal on for the Cardinals, and they're going to decide to throw down to second base. Hack was in there without a throw, and the second baseman, Riker Marcel, was not quite ready for that. So Travis gets in there safely. Thomas Varsity fouls this one straight back off at the very top of the netting. The count's 1-2. And Pilarski gets rung up on strikes. He thought it was a little bit inside, but the umpire has been pretty consistent all day with that. So the bleeding stops for Caleb Chesgreen as Calvert Hall is now entering the bottom of the second now as the away team with the lead 6-0. For those of you interested in Calvert Hall varsity lacrosse, Their quarterfinal matchup against number 6 seed St. Paul's is happening right now in Paul Angelo Russo Stadium, with the Cardinals leading 5-1 already in the second quarter. And Braden Rolland grounds out over to Tom Spilarski. So another quick out for Hunter Dunst, who's just been dealing so far, even with the bullpen day. It looks like he might have a chance to go a little farther upon Coach Kerr's discretion. Well, with the Cardinals lead like this, I don't see why not, as Riker Marcel, the second baseman, is up next. And he also hits a hard chopper to Tom Spilarski, who makes another perfect throw across over to Williams. So far, Hunter Dunst has been absolutely rocking on the mound today in his first start of the season. Three pitches, all of which have been fastballs, and 2 groundouts right to third base. Cooper Cumberledge, the center fielder, is up next, and he's going to have to take a pitch there to get the pitch count just up a little bit for Dunst. And there is a good slider there. Dropped it right over the heart of the plate. Cumberledge was not wanting to swing at that, and now he's behind 0-2. And he gets absolutely folded by a slider there. Not even a swing, and another ridiculously quick inning for Hunter Dunst. Absolute stellar performance. Caleb Chesgreen is going to come out for his third inning of work in a 6-0 hole. Hunter Dunst threw 2 innings, 19 pitches, 15 of which are for strikes. That's an absolutely insane ratio. Both of these pitchers, though, have been working quickly, just getting the signs. But it's also a little bit easier when you only throw 2 pitches each. Dunst has faced one more than the minimum on the hit from Jonas Ritter, but everyone else, soft contact or a strikeout. But Caleb Chesgreen, a little bit of a different story right now. Through 2 innings of work, he has thrown 55 pitches, 24 of which have been for strikes. 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches as well, and 6 runs given up. All have been earned, but he does have 2 strikeouts on the day of Braden Wolf and Thomas Pilarski in that last frame. So now he's going to face the lefty Clark Mileto. Clark hit the grounder up the middle, which made it all the way to the center fielder Cumberledge for a base hit. And he takes that fastball in for a strike. And he's going to send another one into center field for another base hit. Clark Mileto continues his hot hitting for this Cardinals team. And then for the 3rd inning in a row, the leadoff man is on. So Kittleberger's up now. His first plate appearance, he drew a walk. And he takes another ball there from Chesgreen. If I'm Caleb Chesgreen, I'm noticing that I've thrown a lot of pitches and not a lot of time. So in order to preserve my arm, I would probably slow down just a little bit. There's no rush to end this game. for either team. The Cardinals really wanted to play today, as they were not looking forward to a game tomorrow, but all the games would possibly be here anyway, as Curley's got a dirt field on the bottom of the hill, so not the best condition right now. And Chess Green's behind 3-0 on Kittleberger, and he drops a fastball in for a strike. Kittleberger chops this one foul, and Cayman Wolf makes an absolute stellar grab. And the dugout goes crazy. Cayman Wolf with one of the best snags I've seen, barehanded. Kittleberger swinging, but this one's going to be tailing foul and getting out of play. Mileto was on the run, too. The payoff pitch to Kittleberger. And this one's going to hit off the front elbow of Kittleberger, so it's another hit by pitch. And after that at bat, it looks like Caleb Chessgreen's night will be done. Griffin Shanahan is going to come in for most likely a long relief role for Archbishop Curley. A righty pitcher. He's going to have to face Anthony Williams with 2 runners on and no outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. The final stat line for Caleb Chessgreen: he will have to assume responsibility for the runners on second and first. But 65 total pitches, 29 of which have been for strikes, 5 hits allowed, 3 walks, 3 hit by pitches, 2 strikeouts on the day. As of now, it stands as 6 runs, but you never know. Williams has some good power, and Connor Callahan already has the bases clearing triple in this game. Even with MSJ beating John Carroll yesterday in their regular season finale, John Carroll, after winning the first 2 games, has already clinched up the number 1 seed. It was a great one-year turnaround from them after not making the playoffs last year to becoming the 1 seed. Their senior-heavy lineup has really carried them throughout this year behind the arms of Pierce Quinn and Brooks Mueller. So they will be the 1 seed, and the road to Joe Cannon runs through them. The first game of the championship series, if they were to be MSJ again this upcoming week, the first game would be at John Carroll in Bel Air, Maryland. And Shanahan's first pitch to Williams is cut on and fouled off. That slider from Shanahan is outside. Williams was telling me in Spanish class today how he should have a lot higher batting average. And it's for reasons like that, just a great swing. Got a barrel on it, but right at the center fielder, Cooper Cumberledge. Just a great swing from Anthony Williams. He's been producing those all season. That's why Coach moved him to first base in the middle of the year, a position he's never played before. but he's been excelling there defensively. And with swings like those, normally they should and will eventually produce, but it's just getting a little bit unlucky. So now Connor Callahan's up, and he's going to take that breaking ball from Shanahan for a strike. He smoked the chest green fastball up into the right center gap. And he fouls this one into the parking lot as well. So he's behind 0-2 on Shanahan. Looking to turn the lineup card over nicely for Caden Barmer, who's standing on deck. And he takes that slider outside. Sometimes we see those called for strikes. Just in Wednesday's game, a lot of those were called for strikes, but this umpire's got a much tighter zone tonight. Callahan just flares one into foul territory, and this one's going to get into the picnic bench area. So out of play safely. Good protection of home plate from the junior catcher. Tried to call time, but couldn't quite get there. And Griffin Shanahan puts a fastball by him. He wasn't quite ready. So Callahan goes down swinging. He's 1 for 2 on the day after that. So now Caden Barmer, as the army of foul ball policemen that the Calvert Hall Cardinals have, getting all 3 foul balls that have been hit there recently. Shanahan steps off, takes a check on Clark Mileto, still standing on second base. There's a good pitch at the bottom of the zone for a strike. Mileto at second. Kittleberger at third. Barmer at the dish. Hack on deck. Shanahan throws a ball. Barmer takes that slider low for a ball as well. These Curley pitchers this series have just been getting the signs and have been ready to go. Lots of fast deliveries. Not giving the Cardinal hitters much time to reset after each pitch. And it counts 2-2. And this one is spiked by Hull. Spiked by Shanahan, blocked by Hull. Stayed right at the feet of Barmer, though, so the runners could not advance, but it's full count. Runners will be going with 2 outs. And there they go. And the ball almost gets out of play. Stays in play, though, because of the little gate there. But Barmer draws a walk. So the bases are now loaded for Will Heck, who already has a hit and an RBI on the day. He takes a slider there from Shanahan for a strike. That breaking ball is outside, though. And this one's just spiked and well away. Hull couldn't have a chance of getting in front of that one, but it just bounced straight off the wall right back. Mileto could not score. So another lucky break for the Curley pitchers and catchers in this game. Second one where it's been like that. And the count runs to 3-1 on the Cardinals' most dangerous hitter all year. Probably one of the best in the conference as well. He was ahead of that fastball, smoked it foul. Wilhack looking to earn his second straight all-conference honors. The count's 3-2. Shanahan's playoff pitch. And that one's low, so a bases loaded walk for Wilhack. Clark Miletto's going to score, and the Cardinals score again. Lead is now 7-0 here in the top of the third inning. So Braden Wolf's up, and Shanahan just needs to settle down a little bit more, go back to what he knows, and dropping in those fastballs and sliders at the bottom of the zone. Looks like he's trying to be doing too much, overthrowing a little bit. And it looks like they're going to call a balk on Griffin Shanahan as he didn't come set all the way. Second time the Cardinals have scored on a Curley balk in the series. So Kittleberger's going to score. And Wolf sends this one into foul territory. It's going to travel with the wind into the picnic bench area again. And they got the army of Will Bush, Ryder Stella, Cole Kantorski, and Nico DeFelice on that foul ball duty. Don't ask me why they need 4 guys to get 1 foul ball. Not even the ones to get it. As a very nice spectator is tossing the ball to them. And Wolf's going to send one into right center field. And this one's also going to tail foul as well. Another good swing. Just a little bit late on these. And so now Braden Rivera joins the Army, and they're going to get the other foul ball. Rivera is being called back. So Wolf down 1-2, and he's victim of strikeout again. Good slider there from Griffin Shanahan to end this inning. He comes in. The 2 runs of Caleb Chesgreen's time coming to score. One of them was on the balk, one of them was on the walk. So not quite earned for him, but 8 runs now total. And the Cardinals are going to have their pitching change in this little bit of a bullpen game, as you can call it. Grayson Ryan, fellow sophomore and teammate of Hunter Dunst, comes in now. Grayson, normally a Friday starter, started in the series against Gilman, started on the Friday game in Virginia against Albemarle. A little bit of a harder throwing righty than Dunst, but definitely has a lot more pitches. Fastball, cutter, changeup, slider. Always tinkering with his dad, the pitching coach, Coach Kevin Ryan. Always working on bullpens, trying to make sure, find the right adjustments for each pitch. Still won't throw that hard, around 85 to 86 miles per hour, but he will throw as many pitches as you ask of him. His arm seems to be unbreakable. He's going to face Khalil Jackson, Ryan Bonson, and back up to the top of the order with Ian Hull. 8-9-1 in the bottom of the third as Curley's down 8-0. Callahan with the strong throw down to Pipes right on the money. And we are here set in the bottom of the third. After the 8-minute first inning, the second and third have gone a little bit longer with all the runs scored and the pitching change in that last inning. So Khalil Jackson, who was a starter on Monday's game in the 4-3 extra inning win for Calvert Hall, came in originally as a courtesy runner for Hull, and then eventually made his way back onto the playing field at the end of last game. And Ryan's going to throw a fastball in for a strike. The fastball is chopped foul right at the feet of Coach Kerr. And there was a good slider there from Grayson Ryan. Khalil Jackson goes down looking. And that's Ryan's first strikeout of the evening. He's a little bit pumped up. He wants Coach to know that he's also capable of gaining a bigger, more everyday starting role for this team in the future. Bonnets chops out right back to Ryan. Easy throw over to Anthony Williams over at first, and a second quick out here in the bottom of the third. So Ian Hull's up for the second time in this game. And he's going to smoke a fastball right up the middle for a base hit. Curley's second hit of the day. And the first one courtesy of Jonas Ritter in the first inning. So now Colin Roach is going to come in as a pinch runner. And Ritter did not hold his swing on that slider from Grayson. Colin Roach coming in as a courtesy runner for the catcher Ian Hull, especially with 2 outs. Ritter calls time. It looks as if Noe Yates just came out of the bullpen for Curley. He might be on to pitch next for the Friars. Another good slider there from Ryan. Ritter thinks it's a little bit high. Those calls have been consistent all day. That fastball, though, from Ryan is too high. Ryan with a wild throw over to first. Williams not able to corral it, and Roach is going to go to second. He's going to hold up there. As we have some replacements now. Sorry for not noticing this earlier. Barmer's out of this game now. Hack moves over to center, and Ethan Frank, the junior, is going to take over in right field. The only adjustment that Coach Kerr has made so far. And Ritter grounds one straight to Mileto. Couldn't handle it cleanly. It was a hard hit ball. Played it on an awkward little hop. But it's going to be an infield single for Jonas Ritter. Now there's runners on the corners for the right fielder, Lucas Dean. Ryan set. And that fastball is going to be just outside. Curley with their best scoring opportunity of the day. That fastball again from Ryan. Grayson, as a pitcher, does get a little bit in his head and messes with his command just a little bit. Needs to be able to settle down, though, after one mistake by him and a tough play from Clark Mileto. This one's much easier. Easy ground out. Easy throw. Dean is retired, and Grayson gets out of this inning. Only one hit. Excuse me. 2 hits in the inning. One actually made it out of the infield. But Curley strands the 2 runners. And Griffin Shanahan's going to come back as we head to the top of the 4th. Calvert Hall is winning as the away team 8-0. Couple of defensive replacements here for Archbishop Curley. Jake Whitemore is now catching. And what used to be the courtesy runner for Ian Hull is now in left field. Replacement of Khalil Jackson, Colin Roach. And Shanahan drops the slider in for a strike on Travis Pites. And Pites gets hit. Again, that's the Cardinals' 4th hit batter today. And Coach Kerr will take as many base runners as he can get as any way possible. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Kerr makes Tommy put down a bunt. Best bunter on this team, not even close. Most successful bunter as well. This fastball from Shanahan is inside. So Shanahan's behind 2-0 on Pilarski. And he's going to send one deep into left field, but Roach got a good jump on it and is able to track it down for the first out. Another good swing from Thomas Pilarski. He had one like that on Wednesday. Just a little bit too much off the end of the bat. So now Clark Mileto is up. He's 2 for 2 on the day, and coming into today, is Trav's going to take second easily. Mileto batting .318 coming into today with an OPS of .911, one of the higher on the team. Chops this one foul right off the top of the Curley dugout. Everyone in there is unfazed, though. Now the count is 2-1. And Mileto hits one sharply to second, but good backhanded play by Riker Marcel, and that's the second out of this game. It moves over Travis, but doesn't quite do its full job. Mileto's retired for the first time today on 3 hard-hit balls, 2 of which have gone into center field. Now Drew Kittleberger batting from his more comfortable side as a switch hitting. Prefers to be a lefty. Now with the right-hander Griffin Shanahan in. Coach Randy over on first base could not make the smooth Cayman Wolf-esque type of snag. Shanahan drops a fastball in for a strike. So Kittleberger's behind 0-2. And that changeup, it appeared almost. Shanahan drops the slider in for a strike. So Kittleberger goes down swinging. Another strikeout for the Cardinals today. So they strand Travis over on third, and it was a relatively quick inning for Griffin Shanahan as we head to the bottom of the fourth now. Cardinals still leading 8-0. Grayson out for his second inning of work. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Friars in the home half of the 4th inning here. Again, if you're just joining us or joined us recently, due to the field conditions at Archbishop Curley after the rainstorms of yesterday into today, the game had to be moved here to finish the series up. All conference series must be finished, as they should all play the full 18 games. And Grayson drops a fastball in after that slower slider for a strike, so he's ahead on Shapiro, 0-2. And they're going to say he went around, so Grayson picks up his second strikeout. He's pumped up, another good slider there, and Shapiro goes down swinging. So now the sophomore shortstop, Braden Rowland. Grayson fires a fastball in for a strike. Gotten a little bit chilly here up in Towson with this wind. And Rowland grounds one up over to first, and Williams going to take it himself and get the second out of the inning. So Ryan so far has been quite efficient, as was Hunter Dunst. Hunter again threw 2 innings, only threw 19 pitches, 15 of which were for strikes, but the plan was the whole time 2, 2, and then Nate Rodriguez to come in and possibly pitch 2 more. And Clark Mileto was going to be the one to finish it up if necessary, if we get to the 7th inning before the 10-run mercy rule. Now Riker Marcel, the second baseman. Ryan so far through an inning and 2/3 has only allowed 1 hit and has had 2 strikeouts. Another good slider there. He's got such a good mix of pitches. Can always throw the batters off. And then plus, he even has a little bit of a mistimed delivery. Will trick the batters a little bit with his leg kick coming at different times. And he gets up his 3rd strikeout. He pumped off the mound, does a little hop. Marcel goes down swinging, and that's how the 4th inning's going to come to a close. Grayson Ryan, his day will be done at 25 pitches, 17 of which were for strikes, and 3 strikeouts on the day. Griffin Shanahan's coming up next, again, to try and hold the Cardinals to exactly where they are, 8-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th. 8-9-1 due up here for the Cardinals as Anthony Williams sends one high into left field, but the wind isn't helping. Got a little bit too under it, and the new left fielder, Colin Roach, is able to corral it in for the first out. Solid swing there from Williams. Just got too far under that one. Connor Callahan is up. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a 3-run triple and a strikeout. The strikeout coming against Shanahan. Again, the Cardinals team has already clinched playoffs, already clinched the 2 seed. Coach Koski's not able to make the snag either. Will play Archbishop Spalding on Monday at home in the first playoff match. Connor whiffs on that slider from Shanahan. That was probably his best of the day. The catcher, Whitemore, could not handle it. The new right fielder, Ethan Frank, will be on deck as that slider is not as good. Almost hit Callahan in the head. The count evens up at 2-2. Callahan sends this one foul. Another great swing there from him. But that wind, once that ball gets high enough, it will just stop. He was also really ahead of it. But it was a great swing, great contact. Callahan actually finally gets his time now from the home plate umpire. The 2-2 from Shanahan. And he sends this one high into left field. Roach coming in. And he's able to make the grab. So 2 flyouts. Colin Roach getting a little bit of work in after coming in as a replacement. So Ethan Frank's going to try and get something started here in the top of the 5th. His first at-bat of the day. Did not play Wednesday's game either. And he sees a slider from Shanahan for a strike. Sends this one foul. Plenty of spin on it. Now Tom Spilarski and Clark Mileto, the new foul ball boys, for the later part of this game. And Franks gets in on the hands. And the second baseman, Marcel, calls off the new first baseman, Noah Yates. And the Cardinals go 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. Another quick inning of work there from Griffin Shanahan, who's done really well in his relief role so far. So the Cardinals lead 8-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Curley's coming up next. Defensively for the Cardinals, Cole Cantorsi comes in at third base in replacement for Thomas Pilarski. And Jake Lindsay is a new second baseman for Clark Mileto. Nate Rodriguez, the big senior, is now pitching as well. It's possible he will have the 5th and the 6th inning. As Connor Callahan's watch has a little bit of a malfunction. And, of course, Noah Myers, the junior, first baseman, comes in for Anthony Williams. Rodriguez with the good changeup on Cumberledge. Rodriguez last year was part of the big three rotation of Bayshore, Soa, and Rodriguez, one of the best pitching trios in the conference. As he gets a strikeout on Cumberledge, a great breaking ball there from Rodriguez as he gets another strikeout. The Cardinals' 5th one of the evening, pitching-wise, total. But Rodriguez started the season injured as a pitcher, came in and was hitting a lot as designated hitter at the beginning of the year, but ever since he came back from his injury, he's been pitching a little bit more. Has not been quite where he wants to be, but now, of course, he looks a lot more settled in near the end of this year. And now he's going to face Colin Roach. Roach's first at bat as he came in for Khalil Jackson. And if we remember on Wednesday, Bayshore's time with Roach, 3 straight sliders, 3 straight absolute whiffs from Roach. He's down 0-2 here. And he whiffs again. Coach Kevin knows what to do, and Noah Myers on his first throw around on the diamond sends it into the outfield. Not quite used to those throws, but they'll figure it out. Rodriguez with the 2nd straight strikeout. Great job from Rodriguez so far in this inning. Now he's facing the designated hitter today, Ryan Bonnets. And that's another strike from Rodriguez. There goes the immaculate inning for Nate Rodriguez. 7 straight pitches for strikes, including 2 strikeouts. But that fastball had to be blocked by Connor Callahan behind the dish. And it's another chopper straight back to the pitcher. So super quick inning for Nate Rodriguez. Just 9 pitches to get through the bottom of the 5th frame. This game is moving very quickly, folks, as we head to the top of the 6th. Cardinals leading 8-0 as they come back up to hit again. Nico Brownlee's coming in for Curley as a pitcher. The first 2 games, starting center fielder. And he's faced Will Hack, who takes a big swing on a slider. Will Hack's now the center fielder in this game after Barmer was replaced for Ethan Frank. And Brownlee drops another off-speed pitch in for a strike, so Hack down quickly 0-2. Chops this one foul, and Coach Koski, again, got his hands on it, but couldn't quite corral it all the way. Good block from Whitemore behind the dish. Hack takes that slider. Hack was one of the seniors to join the podcast today. And he fouls this pitch from Brownlee off. His favorite moment this year, we asked him this question, was beating Spalding for the first time in a regular season series in the 2-2, and he fouls this one into the parking lot. Barely escapes the car. Pilarski and Mileto, the ball boys for these 2 innings. So Hack still battling against Brownlee. The payoff pitch. Another slider, ripped foul. Hack takes that slider outside. Will in contention for MIAA Player of the Year. Honestly, very deserving of the award. It takes a walk there. Gonna raise his ridiculously high OPS even more. Now the new designated hitter, Will Wallace. Wally, huge power, will be going to Frederick Community College for baseball. And when I say huge power, folks, he hit a ball onto LaSalle Road. It was foul, but still over the trees, absolutely smoked. Chops this one foul off the end of the bat. But those spectators out near the grass on the right field side should watch out for any dangerous flying balls coming their way. The 1-1 count. Called for a strike, a little bit outside, I would say. So 1-2 to Wallace. Protects very well, sends that onto the practice fields. Haxel over on first. This one's inside. So Brownlee now throws over on Hack in there safely. Wallace smokes one foul. These Cardinal hitters have been way ahead of these pitches today. Lots of foul balls pulled, I should say. And Hack was running. It was great hit and run execution there from Will Hack and Will Wallace. They're going to wave Hack all the way around home, and he's going to score without a throw. Great heads-up play there from Coach Rob Koski over on the third base coaching box. The right fielder, Lucas Dean, had a lot of trouble picking that ball up and threw it over softly into Riker Marcel. So Hack was able to score as he was running. Great piece of hitting and RBI from Will Wallace there. And now the new shortstop in today's game for the Cardinals, Christian Oliver. Junior coming in as a replacement defensively and offensively for Travis Pites. And that's another balk. Not 100% sure what the balk was on that delivery, but Wallace is able to take second for free. And now the Cardinals have another runner in scoring position. Still no outs in this inning. And Oliver is able to ground out to second. Slow little looper played by one hop by Marcel. Able to beat out the speedy Oliver, who is hustling down the line. Wallace could not advance. So now Cole Kantorski, sophomore, third baseman. Also with solid power from the left side of the plate. Takes the fastball for a strike from Brownlee. He sends this one into center field, but right at Cooper Cumberledge, who makes the grab for the second out of the inning. So now Coach Kirsch is emptying out the bench in this game so far with a 9-0 lead here in the top of the sixth. Jake Lindsay, now the sophomore second baseman, comes in as a replacement for Clark Mileto. Lindsay and Mileto had a good second base platoon going on earlier in the year, mostly for matchups, as Mileto's the lefty, Jake's the righty, and another balk here from Nico Brownlee. A balk as a pitcher can come in the slightest movement. Maybe he came set, turned his shoulders, or started his hands and could not finish the movement. But he now battles back and throws two straight strikes to Jake Lindsay, who will most likely be the second baseman for the next 2 years here at Calvert Hall. The 2-2 from Brownlee. Sent high into right field. Lucas Dean has no problem making the catch. So the Cardinals strand Will Wallace over on third base, but they do score one more run as Hack comes in to score. Cardinals lead 9-0 heading to the bottom of the sixth. So top of the order, 1, 2, 3, due up for the Archbishop Curley Friars here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jake Whitemore coming in for Ian Hull. And he cuts and misses through the first fastball he sees from Rodriguez. Another good fastball from Rodriguez. And the Cardinals now, other than Hack, Kittleberger, and Callahan, have all been replaced. Kantorski over at the hot corner. Noah Myers over at first base. And then Christian Oliver. And Kamen Wolf makes another good snag. He's been on it over by the dugout. And then Christian Oliver and Jake Lindsay, more of an underclassman double play combination. But Rodriguez is ahead 0-2 on Whitmore, who sends one right up the middle, and Nate Rodriguez, oh my goodness, behind the back snag, gets the out. You gotta tip the cap to that one. That was a stellar play from Nate Rodriguez. Robbed Jake Whitmore of a hit right there. So now Jonas Ritter, the third baseman, going to come up now with 1 out. Couple of hits in this series for Ritter. That slider from Rodriguez is inside. Only his second ball that he's thrown so far in his inning and a third of work. And on the 15th pitch he throws, Ritter chops out to Christian Oliver, who makes a good play. Second out of this frame. So Lucas Dean, the right fielder, who had some trouble and was the reason why Will Hack was able to score in this last inning to make the lead 9-0. And he's first pitch swinging. It's a slow roller to Kantorski. He's got to make a quick throw over to first. And he gets the out. Good pick by Noah Myers over at first base. Kantorski with a great play. Lucas Dean's a little upset. He thought he beat it out, but the umpire says otherwise. And Lucas Dean just got tossed from this game. Nico Brownlee's coming out for his second frame of work as we head now to the top of the 7th, and even more of a bench unload from Coach Kurz. Nico DeFelice is going to lead off this inning. We will be right back. 7-8-9 due up for the Cardinals in this away half of the 7th inning. Cardinals leading this game 9-0 over Archbishop Curley. Nico, first pitch, swinging against Brownlee, pops one up into left field, and Colin Roach is able to make the grab. So now Noah Myers is going to get his first at-bat. Myers takes the first pitch slider from Brownlee. And Myers sends one into left field for a base hit. Good line drive single for Noah Myers as the Cardinals have another runner on. Evan Stevers coming in as a replacement for Connor Callahan now. Possibly just for hitting, as Connor Callahan will most likely catch. He's still got the shin guards on. Evan Stevers committed to Adrian College. Transferred positions, I should say, not schools. He's now a first baseman behind Anthony Williams and Noah Myers. And the Cardinals do have Clark Mileto warming up in the bullpen for the bottom of the 7th. And Stevers gets another base hit, this one through the 5-6 hole. So 2 straight line drive singles to left field for the Cardinals, as they might have something going now with 2 runners on and only 1 out in the top of the order coming up. Good slider there from Brownlee. Drops in for a strike on Ethan Frank. This time it's just a little bit high. Frank next year will take either center field or everyday left field. He fouls this one off. Frank, one of the top uncommitted class of 26s in the state of Maryland. And the 1-2 from Brownlee. Another breaking ball. This time outside of the zone. Count evens up. And the 3-2 from Brownlee. Frank sends into center field. Tailing a little bit, but Cumberledge is... Roach moves to center field. Cumberledge is now in left field. So Roach is the one that made the catch there. And now Preston Atkinson, who's made a couple pitching appearances this year, most recently against Benedictine Prep in Richmond. making a hitting appearance in the last regular season game. Takes a big swing out of that changeup from Brownlee. Noah Myers still at second. Evan Stevers at first. 2 outs. And Preston chops one through the right side of the infield. Coach Koski going to put the stoplight on Noah Myers. Quick throw in from the right fielder. And now the bases are loaded for William Wallace, who got his last at bat. Hopefully he's doing it. Would love to drive in 2 more runs, at least. Wallace takes a big swing from that off speed out of Brownlee. He's been really good at locating those pitches. Not normally a pitcher. I don't even know he pitched. He always has played center field against the Cardinals in the numerous times that these two teams have faced off. But he gets Wallace to strike out on another good changeup. So Brownlee is going to strand all the runners here. Cardinals leave the bases loaded, and then they put a 0 up on the board as we head to the bottom of the seventh, Clark Mileto is on for the Cardinals to finish this game. Luke Kreiner is now going to be in left field, and as I predicted, Connor Callahan still catching. Because now with Kreiner in left, they move Drew Kittleberger to second base. Clark Mileto is going to have the next 4 years at college at Roanoke College in Virginia, where he'll continue and play baseball there. Mostly the everyday second baseman for this Cardinals team. Sometimes he's taking the off day against some really good lefty throwers. But does have a couple of good pitching appearances as well this year. Just hoping to close out this game for the Cardinals, who are going to be on an 8-game winning streak, barring a Archbishop Curley miracle. But ending the season on an 8-game win streak as you head into the playoffs is always a fantastic sign. As me and Owen Cox would say a bunch during the podcast and sometimes during these broadcasts, that being hot heading into the playoffs is always a lot better than being the absolute best team on paper. Being hot, riding all your momentum that you carry from the regular season into the playoffs, it can sometimes carry you all the way into the championship. And to win the championship this year, Noah Yates up, takes a big hack out of that Clark Mileto fastball. But if there is a year for the Cardinals to win the chip, it is this year, with all the injuries to Spalding. And even though John Carroll did sweep Calvert Hall this year, all the games were 1 run. Definitely could have taken at least 2 of 3 as Clark Mileto slips on the mound there. That was the first time we've seen that. I wouldn't say that the turf is that wet because no one else has ever had a problem with that. Maybe just a little bit of an overthrow as Clark falls even 2-2 on Yates. But Spalding right now did have their bye week, finished the regular season at 12-6, and Noah Yates gets rung up looking. Clark Mileto drops a perfectly painted fastball at the top of the zone for another Cardinal strikeout. He thought he drew ball 4, but umpire had other plans. So now there's shortstop Braden Rolland. As I was saying, Spalding, who's beaten Calvert Hall in the championship the last 2 years, has plenty of injuries to worry about right now. Plus, are in the bye week right now. So really unfortunate timing for Archbishop Spalding. And Rolland takes a big cut out of that Mileto fastball as well. This one runs in. It looks like it just clips the jersey of Rolland. So then the second baseman, Riker Marcel. Him and Rolland have played every inning of this series so far. Umpire calls time. And it looks as if Rolland's going to get a courtesy runner. Number 7, Chase Bandy. Mileto instantly checks up on him. So Chase Bandy over at first. Mileto a little upset of himself and after not locating that fastball. So 1-0 to Marcel, which he chops foul. Calvert Hall with a win today would go to 13-5 in conference. Solo second place. Call for a strike there. Of course, the series sweep against John Carroll. 1 loss to Spalding, 1 loss to MSJ, but have since swept Gilman. And Marcel chops one over to third. Cantorsi got to make a hustle play. Couldn't quite get enough on the throw, and Myers was off the bag anyway. Marcel was hustling down the line. It would have been a tough play to make. So that's an infield single for Riker Marcel. And now there's 2 runners on with 1 out. And Cooper Cumberledge, the new left fielder in this game, their 3rd one today. Khalil Jackson started. And Cumberledge sends this one into foul territory. Myers has room, and he's able to make the grab for the 2nd out of this inning. And now Colin Roach. Cardinals are 1 out away from securing an 8-game win streak. 18-8 overall record. 13-5 in conference. Next on the docket, Archbishop Spalding. First, Clark Mileto has to go through Colin Roach, who rolls over to Christian Oliver, who flips it over to Drew Kittleberger, and that is the game, folks. Calvert Hall Cardinals, as the away team at their home stadium, win 9-0. And that's a wrap of the 2025 MIAA regular season. This was the last game for the A-Conference regular season as the other 2 teams played other 2 games that happened yesterday. John Carroll beating MSJ and Loyola beating Gilman. Great bullpen game from the Cardinals. Great just offensive showing all around. Coach Curry saw lots of things he loved. And the Cardinals now get back at it at practice tomorrow morning and Sunday as they prepare for Archbishop Spalding in the first game of the semifinal series of the 2025 MIAA A-Conference playoffs. We will be back here at 4:30. Me and Owen Cox will be on the call for that one. We cannot wait for playoff baseball here at Carlo Crispino Stadium. But until then, my name is Caleb Stein, signing off. Have a good night.